If looks could kill, Tanos had destroyed the Gauntlet of Finitude and absorbed its power. The resulting transformation was unpleasant. Talia and the fleeing evil got the hell out of there. Tanos had fully unleashed the Gauntlet's power, transforming into a giant monster that was definitely not green for trademark reasons. High energy light shot from his eyes, melting everything in its path.
The goddess of light has blessed me. The cleansing light of my eyes will burn all evil from the face of the earth.
Times I killed the goddess! She can't bless anyone anymore!
And even under the earth you are not safe, you despicable creatures.
Tanos' laser eyes carved a hole in the ground that stretched down into the depths of the dungeon. If these lasers were to hit the dungeon heart, it would be the end of the absolute evil. Meanwhile, in the underground, Talia had other things she considered important.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna make some hackneyed crack about women and mirrors now, you miserable chauvinist. The fact is, that thing gives me a brilliant...
The laser eyes were leaving a trail of devastation through the dungeon. But in the middle of their path, by pure chance, of course, stood Talia's mirror.
What devilry! Talia, you vile thing! You are truly the most evil spawn that ever existed! Just wait until my eyes have recovered, then my cleansing gaze will burn you to ashes!
That Tanos is such a miserable jerk. He doesn't even notice when he puts himself out of action. I mean, that was my ingenious plan all along, of course. Unfortunately, my mirror also broke in the process. Where am I going to get a new one now?
Talia and the Absolute Evil had nothing to counter Tanos' gigantic laser eyes at the moment. Both agreed that a strategic withdrawal from these lands was the wisest choice for the time being.
So, well, if that's what the narrator says, then that's probably what happened, right? But fine, for now it probably really makes sense to get the hell out of Dodge. Forward, creatures, line up in rows of 2. Hold the creature next to you by the hand, and then run away in panic!
While Talia gazed sadly at the remains of the mirror, the Council of Little Snots suddenly spoke up out of nowhere. It just so happened that they had just bought a huge stock of leftover mirrors, but since they all wore robes where you could barely make out their faces, they didn't have any use for them. However, the Council of Little Snots was planning a huge feast called Thanks Gobbler. In exchange for some of those delicious birds, the council was more than willing to provide one of its mirrors.
Can't they just send us the mirror anyway? Oh, but fine. Forwards! Move it! Feed the gobblers! Raise them! Give them food! Spiked with hormones and medicine! Wait, why am I even laughing?
Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. A few of Tanos's more fanatical followers were not frightened by their leader's monstrosity, but rather encouraged. They gleefully rushed into the dungeon to attack it. The resource-generating evil sent a shipment off to the Council of Little Snots. Enemies have entered the dungeon. The resource-gathering evil sent a partial shipment on its way to the Council of Little Snots. The Council of Little Snots was more than pleased with the many delicious gobblers the farm-owning evil had sent them. Grateful for its delivery, the Council of Little Snots sent the reflectionless evil a shiny new mirror.
Splendid! This will help us stop Thanos. At least once.
You have unearthed a new area in the dungeon. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest. A gold vein is almost exhausted.
My vision has cleared again. Time for some purifying fire. Look me in the eyes.
Tanos's eyes had calmed down again, and once more lasers shot out, burning through the underground. You have unearthed a new area in the dungeon. Ding dong! It's payday!
I, as the avatar of good, am willing to forgive your evil ways. Surrender and repent. We can talk everything over. My eyes! Talia, you vile creature! Dare to oppose the light! Good will always win!
Although the mirror had once again stopped Tanos, it again broke under the strain.
Oops. Now that's a little suboptimal. Does this mean I have to rely on that Council of Little Snots advice again?
The Council of Little Snots was known for its ascetic and philosophical lifestyle. It was now pursuing the question of whether money really did not stink. A few gold coins would certainly be helpful in this regard. In return, they could part with one of their mirrors. Your little snots have completely mined out a gold vein. A new area has been unearthed in the dungeon. The resource-gathering evil sent a partial shipment off to the Council of Little Snots. There are enemies in your dungeon. The resource-generating evil sent a shipment off to the Council of Little Snots. Ding dong! It's payday! The resource-gathering evil sent a partial shipment on its way to the Council of Little Snots. The cruel evil's army reached a destroyed bridge, once known as the Bridge of Death, before countless swallows of unknown origin landed on it. Perhaps the nearby hero camp held an alternative way to cross the gorge. The stuff-collecting evil sent a shipment to the Council of Little Snots. The Council of Little Snots was extremely grateful for all the gold. Not only would this allow philosophical questions to be clarified, but also secret bank accounts to be filled. Another mirror from the Council of Little Snots was delivered to the glamorous evil's dungeon.
I may be momentarily blinded, but I have my eye drops here somewhere, and then we'll have a little talk, Talia.
The invading evil's armies had captured a city belonging to Tanos's fanatical followers. A mysterious portal lay within. have entered the dungeon. You've dug into a spider room. It's payday. Tanos's gaze was no longer clouded. Lasers shot out of his eyes and burned their way through the dungeon. The Council of Little Snots wanted some blight for their soon-to-be-held Halloween party to give it that authentic, putrid smell. In return, they would be only too happy to send the absolute evil one of their mirrors. Musty smells wafted up the Council of Little Snots' noses as they took delivery of the fresh, or not-so-fresh, blight from the musty evil. Another mirror from the Council of Little Snots was delivered to the dungeon. Heavily sending its creatures through weird portals, Evil had successfully used a teleportation portal and thus managed to lead its creatures across the gorge. there are enemies in your dungeon. Payday! Creatures are collecting their pay. A new area of the dungeon has been discovered. Your little snots have dug into a spider nest.
eyes are getting used to this darkness. I can sense the enemy in my surroundings. I'm going to... Out! Ah! I stumped my foot, damn it!
Enemies have entered the dungeon. Heyday! Creatures are collecting their pay. Your gold vein is nearly exhausted. Tanos's eyes had cleared, and again they burned through the underground. Your little snots have completely mined out a gold vein.
Wizard! I have been blinded! Vile scum! How dare you resist?
The Council of Little Snots was preparing for the so-called Feast of the Round Bellies. The only thing still missing were a few gobblers for the celebration. A mirror beckoned in return. Feast of Round Bellies could now finally be celebrated, thanks to the generous donation of gobblers. The Council of Little Snots sent the glittering evil another mirror. Payday. There are enemies in your dungeon.
I hate this. All I want is to be able to see again and burn my cursed foster daughter. Is that too much to ask?
A gold vein has been mined out. conquering evil had destroyed a second base full of Tanos's fanatics. Its troops were able to use the portal there to cross the gorge again. Payday. Your enemies are in the dungeon.
My eyesight! I need my eyes again so that I can burn the heretics! Ah!
Tanos's gaze was no longer clouded. Lasers shot out of his eyes and burned their way through the dungeon. Thanos' laser eyes hit a room in the dungeon and began to vaporize it.
Ah, my eyes!
The Council of Little Snots felt not only mystical, but also magical. However, insomuch as the council members were as magical as moldy bread, they wished for some mana in exchange for a mirror. The resource-gathering evil sent a partial shipment on its way to the Council of Little Snots. It's payday. The stuff-collecting evil sent a shipment to the Council of Little Snots. The resource-gathering evil sent a partial shipment off to the Council of Little Snots. Your enemies are in the dungeon. The stuff-collecting evil sent a shipment to the Council of Little Snots. The resource-generating evil sent a shipment off to the Council of Little Snots. Council of Little Snots looked happy and magical as balls of mana were tossed around like volleyballs. Another mirror from the Council of Little Snots was delivered to the glamorous Evil's dungeon. Payday. Enemies are in the dungeon. Snots's eyes had cleared, and again they burned through the underground.
I have been blinded! Vile scum! How dare you resist?
The Council of Little Snots was very interested in alchemy. As a result, they often slapped together the wildest mixtures of drinks. They would gladly send a mirror in return for a few potions.
My eyes! You despicable wretch! I'm going to cut off each and every limb of your body, one by one, once I can use my laser eyes again.
The stuff-collecting evil sent a shipment to the Council of Little Snots. The proper resources lacking evil sent an empty-handed messenger to the Council of Little Snots. Your enemies are in the dungeon. the resource-gathering evil sent a partial shipment off to the Council of Little Snots. While a council member mixed themselves a heel poise blast, a mirror was dispatched on its way to the dungeon. The Council of Little Snots sent the glittering evil another mirror. Talia and the Absolute Evil had finally reached the evacuation point for their tactical retreat.
Phew, that was really something. We urgently need a way to stop Tanos again. I still have that sharp-pointed spear, just pining for Tanos' head.
To be able to stop Tanos again, it would probably be necessary to reassemble the Gauntlet of Finitude. However, the stones that filled the gauntlet were scattered in all directions. It would take some time to round them all up.
Of course, nothing in this stupid dungeon series is ever easy. Any sensible person would think to themselves, boom, let's just beat the crap out of him and that's it. But no, I have to go through the countryside and collect some stupid stones. Okay, fine. Let's get this over with so I can get back to the point where I put Tanos' head on a spear.
The